River City Junction. River City, next station stop.
You're crazy, Mickey. Credit is no good for a notion salesman.
Port! All aboard!
Why not? What's the matter with credit?
It's old-fashioned. Charlie, you're an angel salesman. Your firm give credit?
No, sir.
Nor anybody else.
River City next.
Cash for the merchandise. Cash for the button hooks.
Cash for the cotton goods. Cash for the hard goods.
Cash for the soft goods. Cash for the fancy goods.
Cash for the noggins and the piggins and the firkins. Cash for the hogshead casket and demijohn.
Cash for the crackers and the pickles and the fly paper.
Look, what do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
Where do you get it?
What do you talk?
You can talk, you can talk. You can bicker, you can talk. You can bicker, bicker, bicker. You can talk, you can talk. You can talk, 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 talk. Bicker, bicker, bicker. You can talk all you wanna, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. But you gotta know the territory.
Why, it's the Model T Ford. Made the trouble, made the people want to go. Want to get up and go. 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 22, 23 miles to the county seat.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Who's gonna patronize a little bitty 2x4 kind of store anymore?
What do you talk? What do you talk?
Where do you get it?
Not the Model T at all. Take a gander at the store, at the modern store, at the present day store, the present day modern departmentalized grocery store.
What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
Where do you get it?
What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
Where do you get it?
You can talk, you can bicker. You can talk, you can bicker. You can talk, 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 talk. Bicker, bicker, bicker. You can talk all you wanna, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't. But you gotta know the territory.
Why, it's the you need a biscuit. Made the trouble you need to put the crackers in a package, The you need a biscuit in an airtight sanitary package made the Cracker Barrel obsolete.
Obsolete, obsolete, obsolete.
Cracker Barrel went out the window with a mail pouch cut plug drawn by the stove. Changed the approach of a traveling salesman. Made it pretty hard.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't. But you gotta know the territory.
Gone.
Gone with the hogshead, caskin, and demijohn. Gone with the sugar barrel, pickle barrel, milkman. Gone with the tub and the pail and the tears.
Ever meet a fellow by the name of Hill?
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 No! Just a minute.
Never heard of any salesman, Hill.
No, he doesn't know the territory.
Doesn't know the territory.
What's the fella's line?
Never worries about his line.
Never worries about his line.
Or the Cracker Barrel being obsolete. Or the you need a biscuit in an airtight sanitary package. Or the Model T Ford.
Just a minute.
Never worries about his line.
Never worries about his line.
Or a doggone thing. He's just a baby bell bringing big Hulk, great go necker, nothing rip roaring every time a bullseye salesman. That's Professor Harold Hill.
Tell us, what's his line? What's his line?
He's a fake, and he doesn't know the territory.
Look, what do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
He's a music man.
He's a what? He's a what?
He's a music man, and he sells clarinets to the kids in the town with the big trombones and the rat-a-tat drums and the big brass bass. And the piccolo, the uniform suit with the shiny gold braid on a coat and a big red stripe running.
Well, I don't know much about bands, but I do know you can't make a living selling big trombones. No, sir. Mandolin picks, perhaps, and here and there Jew's heart.
No, the fellow sells bands. Boys, bands. I don't know how he does it, but he lives like a king, and he tallies and he gathers, and he plucks and he shines. And when the man dances, certainly, boys, what else? The piper pays him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When the man dances, certainly, boys, what else? The piper pays him.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But he doesn't know the territory.
River City. River City. We're across the state line into Iowa. River City, population 2,212. Cigarettes illegal in this state. Port.
All right, if you're all through, I'll tell you about Harold Hill.
You really know Harold Hill?
Never saw him before in my life, but I know this much. He's given every one of us a black eye. After he's worked the town over, the next salesman to arrive gets automatically tarred and feathered and we're out to the city limits on a rail. Do you think that's funny? Wait till it happens to you. Some hair never grows back.
Well, why should he get rode out of town on a rail?
In order to sell them band instruments and uniforms and instruction books, he has to guarantee to teach those kids to play.
Well?
And to form those kids into a band with himself as the leader.
What's wrong with that?
He don't know one note from another. That's what's wrong with that. He don't know a bass drum from a pipe organ. When I catch up to that swindler, I'll squeal on him so loud.
Wow, you're mad, Charlie. Sure like to be around when you catch up with that fella.
Well, it won't be on this trip, not in Iowa. Not even the great Professor Harold Hill would try to sell these neckbone Hawkeyes out here.
Yeah, give me that.
Gentlemen, you intrigue me. I think I'll have to give Iowa a try.
I don't believe I caught your name.
Don't believe I dropped it.
That's him.
Good morning, Mayor Shin.
Good morning, Mayor Shin. It is if you want to go around in your drawers all day.
And there I was in Madison Hospital, and nobody come to see me. Cousin Will never come, Aunt Bertha never come. Your Aunt Bertha is dead. She wouldn't have come anyway.
It'll be cold as a falling thermometer in December if you ask about our weather in July. And we're so by gosh stubborn we can stand touching noses for a wing at a time and never see eye to eye. But we'll give you our shares. And we'll have to go away. If your cross should happen
You're welcome. Glad to have you with us. Even though we may not ever mention it again.
You really ought to give Iowa, Hawkeye, Iowa, the beautiful morning Davenport Marshall is living here. It's really ought to give Iowa a try.
Mr. Squires? Yes. I'd like to see if you have a rig for Sunday, if you could accommodate me.
And I expect you'd ought to talk to the man in charge of hiring rigs, who is late as usual.
Gregory!
Marcellus!
Why, you old son of a gun!
But Greg,
Harold Hill's the name on this trip. Professor Harold Hill.
But Greg, what are you doing here? Why didn't you tell me you was coming?
Oh, I didn't know I was coming myself. Besides, how would I know you'd end up in a little tank town like this? You were a pretty big slicker when you were in business with me.
Way too many close shaves with you. Besides, I got me a nice, comfortable girl. Ethel Toffelmeyer, boss's niece.
Gone legitimate. I know you'd come to no good.
So what's the new pitch? Oh, Greg, you're not back in the band business. I heard you was in steam automobiles.
Oh, I was.
Well, what happened?
Someone actually invented one.
No.
Now give me the lowdown here, Mars.
You'll never get anywhere in the band business with these stubborn Iowans, Greg. Besides, we got a stuck-up music teacher here who will expose you before you get your grip unpacked.
Male or female?
The music teacher? She's the librarian. Female.
Perfect. That's just what I wanted to hear. The minute she passes by, you point her out to me.
I will. So how are you going to start the pitch?
Oh, same old way. First, get that music teacher off balance, and my next step will be to get your town out of the serious trouble it's in.
But River City isn't in any trouble.
Oh, then I'll have to create some. Have to create a desperate need for a boys' band. Now you remember the old pitch. What's new around here? What can I use?
Nothing. Except the billiard parlors just put in a new pool table.
They must have seen a pool table before.
No, only billiards.
That's all I need. Remember, when that music teacher passes by, you point her out.
Music teacher.
Are you Mr. Dunlop?
Yup.
Well, either you are closing your eyes to a situation you do not wish to acknowledge, or you are not aware of the caliber of disaster indicated by the presence of a pool table in your community. Well, you got trouble, my friend. Right here, I say trouble right here in River City. Why, sure, I'm a billiard player, certainly mighty proud to say I'm always mighty proud to say it. I consider that the hours I spend with the cue in my hand are golden. Help me cultivate horse sense and a cool head and a keen eye. Did you ever take and try and give an ironclad leap for yourself from a 3-rail billiard shot? But just as I say it takes judgment, brains, and maturity to score in a balk line game, but I say that any boob can take and shove a ball in a pocket. And I call that sloth, the first big step on the road to the depths of degradation. I say first, medicinal wine from a teaspoon, then beer from a bottle. And the next thing you know, your son is playing for money in a pinchback suit and listening to some big out-of-town Jasper here to tell him about horse race gambling. Not a wholesome trotting race, no, but a race where they sit down right on the horse. Like to see some stuck-up jockey boy sitting on Dan Patch? Make your blood boil, I should say. Now, friends, let me tell you what I mean. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pockets in a table. Pockets that mark the difference between a gentleman and a bum with a capital B, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for fool. And all week long, your River City youth will be frittering away. I say, your young men will be frittering away. They're noontime, supper time, chore time too. Get the ball in the pocket. Never mind getting dandelions pulled or the screen door patched or the beefsteak pounded. Never mind pumping any water till your parents are caught with a cistern empty on a Saturday night, and that's trouble. Yes, you got lots and lots of trouble. I'm thinking of the kids in the Knickerbocker, shirt-tail young ones, pinking in the pool all window after school. You got trouble. Folks, right here in River City. Trouble with a capital T, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool. Now, I know all you folks are the right kind of parents. I'm gonna be perfectly frank. Would you like to know what kind of conversation goes on while they're loafing around that hall? They'll be trying out Bebo, trying out Cubans, trying out tailor-mades like cigarette fiends, and bragging all about how they're gonna cover up a telltale breath with sense. And one fine night, they leave the pool hall, heading to the dance at the Armory. Libertine men and scarlet women, and ragtime, shameless music that'll drag your son, your daughter, in the arms of the jungle, animal instinct, hysteria. Friends, the idle brain is the devil's playground. Trouble.
Oh, we got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here in River City.
With a capital P, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool.
That stands for pool.
We've surely got trouble.
We've surely got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here.
Gotta figure out a way to keep the young ones moral after school.
Our children gonna have trouble.
Mothers of River City, heed that warning before it's too late. Watch for the telltale signs of corruption. Trouble. The minute your son leaves the house, does he rebuckle his knickerbockers below the knee? Is there a nicotine stain on his index finger? A dime novel hidden in the corn crib? Is he starting to memorize jokes from Captain Billy's whiz-bang? Are certain words creeping into his conversation? Words like swell. Aha, and so's your old man.
Trouble.
Well, that's so, my friends. We got trouble.
Oh, we got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here in River City.
With a capital T, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool.
That stands for pool.
We've surely got trouble.
We've surely got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here.
Remember We're the Maine, Plymouth Rock, and the Golden Rule.
Our children's children gonna have trouble.
Oh, we're in trouble. We're in terrible, terrible trouble. That game with the 15 numbered balls is the devil's tool.
Devil's trouble!
We got trouble, trouble, trouble.
Oh yes, we got trouble here. We got big, big trouble.
With a T!
Double T!
Gotta rhyme it with B!
That rhymes with B.
That stands for pool!
That stands for Oh, we got trouble, trouble, trouble. Right here in River City with a capital T. That rhymes with B. That stands for pool. Stands for pool. We sure got trouble, trouble. Right here in River City. Right here. Right here at Lake at the Emblems Moral after school.
Excuse me, did you drop your,
No.
Now, didn't I meet you in...
No.
Well, I'll only be in town a short while.
Good. Fine, dear. Now your exercises. Hello, Mama.
I don't remember the library being open last 4th of July.
It was, Mama, all evening. Mama, a man with a suitcase has been following me all over town.
Oh? Who?
I never saw him before.
Did he say anything?
He tried.
Did you say anything?
Mama, of course not. Now don't dawdle, Amaryllis. Play your exercises. So, do, la, re, ti, mi, a little slower, and please keep the fingers curved as nice and as high as you possibly can. Don't get faster, dear.
If you don't mind me saying so, it wouldn't have hurt you to find out what the gentleman wanted.
I know what the gentleman wanted.
What, dear?
You'll find it in Balzac.
Excuse me for living, but I've never read it.
Neither has anyone else in this town.
There you go again with the same old comment about the low mentality of River City people and taking it all too much to heart.
Now, Mama, as long as the Madison Public Library was entrusted to me for the purpose of improving River City's cultural level, I can't help my concern that the ladies of River City keep ignoring all my counsel and advice.
But, darling, when a woman's got a husband and you've got none, why should she take advice from you? Even if you can quote Balzac and Shakespeare and all them other highfalutin Greeks.
Now, Mama, if you don't mind me saying so, you have a bad habit of changing every subject.
No, I haven't changed the subject. I was talking about the stranger.
What stranger?
With the suitcase who may be your very last chance.
Mama, if you think that I'd allow a common masher, now really, Mama, I have my standards where men are concerned, and I have no intention.
I know all about your standards, and if you don't mind me saying so, there's not a man alive who could hope to measure up to the blend of Paul Bunyan, St. Patton, or Webster. You concoct them for yourself out of your Irish imagination, your Iowa stubbornness, and your levity full of books.
Well, isn't that the best I've ever heard?
Why, thank you. May I have a drink, please?
Yes, you may.
Winthrop, it's after dark. Is that a way to enter the house?
Hello.
That won't do. I'll have a kiss from me, boy. The lady over there's your sister, young man.
Hello, Winthrop.
Winthrop, where's your manners?
I'm having a party on Saturday. Would you please come? I'd like it especially very much if you come, Winthrop.
Well, Winthrop, Amaryllis asked you to her party. Are you going or aren't you?
No.
No, what?
No, thank you.
You know the little girl's name?
He won't say Amaryllis because of the S. Because of his lisp. He's ashamed.
We know all about his lisp, Amaryllis. Well, Winthrop.
I'll bet he won't say it. No, think Amaryllis. 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 He's crying. Why does he get so mad at people? Just because he lisps?
It's not only because he lisps. That's just part of it, Amaryllis.
Well, what's the other part?
Never mind, dear. It's just that he never talks very much.
Not even to you and your mother?
No, dear. We all have to be a little patient.
I'm patient, even though he doesn't ever talk to me. But I do him. Every night. I say goodnight to him on the evening star. You have to do it the very second you see it, too. Otherwise, it doesn't count. Good night, my Winthrop. Good night. Sleep tight.
Don't cry, dear. Look, there's plenty of time for you. If not Winthrop, there'll be someone else.
Never. I'll end up an old maid like you. I'm sorry, Miss Marion. Can I play my crosshand piece?
May I play mine?
May I play my crosshand piece?
Yes, you may.
See, without a sweetheart, you have no one to say goodnight to on the evening star.
I know, Amaryllis, but for the time being, just say goodnight, my someone. Then you can put the right name in when the right someone comes along.
All right, it's better than nothing.
Yes, it is. Now you can play your crosshand piece.
Now I may play my crosshand piece.
Good night, my someone. Good night,
I'm sure we're all grateful to my wife, Eulalie McKechnie Shin, for leading the singing. And to J.C. Squires for his fine stereo-opticon slides. As mayor of River City, I welcome you River City Zians to the 4th of July exercises set up here in the Madison Gymnasium. Count the weather. 4 score. The members of the school board will now present a patriotic tableau. Yes. The members of the school board will not present a patriotic tableau. There's some disagreement about costumes, I suppose. Instead, the Watanyi girls of the local wigwam of Hiawatha will present a spectacle, My Wife. In which my wife, Eulalie McKechnie Shin, will take a leading part.
In the Indian tongue. I'm shot! George, you shot me!
You shut up, that cracker!
I know who did it. Tommy G-List did it. Tommy G-List.
Yes, it was Tommy G-List.
Tommy, I wouldn't advise you.
Mrs. Shin will recover. No thanks to a certain young ruffian who is a disgrace to our city. 4-7. The Payne's fireworks spectacle, last days of Pompeii, will take place, providing the rain stops by 9:30. It'll be out to Madison Picnic Park in the far meadow, across the creek from the pest house.
How can it be raining? Didn't the Gazette predict fair?
Sure did, Ewart. And that's why we all prepared for a storm.
Because that's accurate most of the time, and you know it, JC.
You know, you wouldn't get very far in the banking business if you were accurate most of the time.
That's right.
Hey, don't talk to me like that. Let's have order here. Order. Number 8's late again tonight.
I make her early.
Nope, she's late all right.
She's right on time. What's the matter with your
watch?
watch?
You don't know. Where'd you get your watch anyway?
That's a terrible watch. School board stuff, bickering in public.
All in the world we said was...
Never mind. 4 score.
We heard there's a pool table in town.
Yeah! Pool table. Now, just a minute here.
Well, is it a pool table or isn't it?
Will you allow me to get on with these exercises?
We don't want any more exercises till this pool table matter gets settled.
Let's protect our children.
Resist sin and corruption.
We can resist it.
Let's smite that devil and keep our young boys pure.
We gotta be pure. We have to. No, it's
Folks, may I have your attention, please? Attention, please. I can deal with the troubled friends with the wave of my hand, this very hand. Please observe me if you will. I'm Professor Harold Hill, and I'm here to organize the River City Boys Band. Oh, think, my friends, how could any pool table ever hope to compete with the gold trombone? Ra-da, ra-da-da-da-ra-ra. Remember, my friends, what a handful of trumpet players did to the famous fabled walls of Jericho. Oh, billiard parlored walls coming tumbling down. Oh, a band will do it, my friends. Oh, yes, I said a boys' band. Do you hear me? I said River City's got to have a boys' band, and I mean she needs it today. Well, Professor Harold Hill's on hand. River City's going to have her boys' band. As sure as the Lord made little green apples, and that band's going to be in uniform. Johnny, Willie, Teddy, Fred. And you'll see the glitter of crashing cymbals, and the thunder of rolling drums, and the shimmer of trumpets, tan-ta-da! And you'll feel something akin to the electric thrill I once enjoyed when Gilmore, Liberati, Pat Conway, the great Creator, W.C. Handy, and John Philip Sousa all came to town on the very same historic day. 76 trombones led the big parade, with 110 cornets close at hand. They were followed by rows and rows of the finest virtuosos, the cream of every famous band. 76 trombones caught the morning sun, with 110 cornets right behind. There were more than 1,000 reeds springing up like weeds. There were horns of every shape and kind. There were copper-bottom timpani and horse spittoon, thundering, thundering all along the way. Double bell euphoniums and big bassoons, each bassoon having its big fat say. There were 50 mounted cannon in the battery, thundering, thundering louder than before. Clarinets of every size and trumpeters who'd improvise a full octave higher than the score.
76 trombones hit the counterpoint, while 110 cornets blaze away. To the rhythm of march, 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 all the kids began to march, and they're marching still right today.
Men, this calls for emergency action. That man is a spellbinder. I haven't seen Iowa people get so excited since the night that Frank Gotch and Strangler Lewis lay on the mat for 3.5 hours without moving a muscle. Never mind. I want his credentials. Grab that hoodlum. He almost blew up Mrs. Shin.
Thank you, Professor. If they make an example for him, ringleader, you know, what he does, the gang does.
Julie Clyde, let me go.
You wild kid, you. Hanging around my oldest girl. His father's one of them day laborers south of town. You wild kid, you. Tagging down Main Street after my oldest girl last Sunday.
I wasn't either tagging.
Don't you contradict me.
We was just walking together. Julie Clyde.
You watch your phraseology. I know what you was doing, my little Gracie Senior. Now you stay away from my oldest girl, or you'll hear from me to who laid the rails. Hill, I'll talk to you about this band thing on Monday morning over to City Hall, 10 o'clock sharp. Men, I want that spellbinder's credentials.
Constable, I'll be responsible for the boy.
But Professor, he's tough. He's got his gang waiting outside.
Oh, I'll be careful. Tommy, I'd like to talk to you about the band.
Oh, gee, Professor. That's for the little kids.
Oh, I'm not talking about playing in the band. Now, you're mechanically minded, aren't you? Did you ever do anything with perpetual motion?
Nearly had it a couple times.
You did? Well, you're my man. Do you realize that no one has ever invented a musical holder for a marching piccolo player? There's no place to hold the music.
Julie Clyde. Wonder where I could get some wire from.
Well, look in your cellar, boy. That's where people keep wire. Oh, Tommy. Now, Constable, I'll show you how to break up a gang. Oh, young lady. Oh, miss. What is your name?
Sunita. I didn't have any idea he was pecking into me. He got.
Do you know Tommy Giles?
Well,
Tommy, this is Anita. Escort the young lady home.
Only except I'm not going home. I had to go to the library. He got.
Well, then escort the young lady home by way of the library, by way of the candy kitchen.
Yes, sir. Do I have to?
Oh, you have to.
Yes, sir.
He got.
Professor, you're a bright young fellow, but you made a couple mistakes, though.
Oh?
The mayor owns the billiard parlor and the new pool table.
Well, what was my other mistake?
That's Zanita. That's the mayor's oldest girl.
Professor Hill, we need your credentials. We're the school board.
Academic certificates.
No, nothing of the kind, no.
We need letters and papers.
Right.
Make him put up a bond!
That's it.
What am I hearing?
Good idea, JC. That's right.
This way, sir. Say ice cream.
Ice cream. But I don't sing, young man. I don't know what you're talking
All
trying
right,
to get
talk then. Down here.
Ice cream.
Talk slow.
Ice cream.
You see? Singing is just sustained talking. Now you, sir.
Ice cream.
Now you, sir.
Ice cream.
Now you, sir.
Ice cream.
Ladies, from now on you will never see one of those men without the other three.
Oh, Professor, you're wrong. Why, they've hated each other for 15 years.
Ice cream. Ice cream. Ice cream.
How can there be
any sin insincere? Where is the good in goodbye? In goodbye. Your apprehensions confuse me, dear. Puzzled and mystified, tell me what can be fair in farewell, dear, while one single star shines above. How can there be any sin insincere? Aren't we sincerely in love? Oh, we're in love.
Now, I don't suppose you live alone or anything.
No.
I have some wonderful caramels over at the hotel if you'd
Mr.
like
Hill.
to. Oh, please. Professor Hill.
Professor, of what? At what college do they give a degree for annoying women on the street like a Saturday night rowdy at a public dance hall?
Oh, I wouldn't know about that myself. I'm a conservatory man. Gary, Indiana, gold medal class of '05.
Even should that happen to be true, does that give you the right to follow me around wherever I go? Another thing, Mr. Hill, I'm not as easily mesmerized or hoodwinked as some people in this town, And I think it only fair to warn you that I have a shelf full of reference books in there that could easily give me some interesting information about you.
Hey, Gregory.
Oh, hey, Morrison. Oh, don't call me Greg.
Sorry. So, how'd you make off with music teacher?
Ah, splendid. Had her eating out of my hand the minute I tipped my hat.
Oh, she did? Boy, did you cut a swath in town tonight. For a minute there, even I thought you knew something about leading a band. Just like when you used to imitate that band concert fella back in Joplin.
Yeah. Kid stuff. I'm in rare form these days, friend. Just you keep your eyes on me for the next 4 weeks.
4 weeks? But it only used to take 10 days for the instruments to arrive.
Oh, it still does, but it takes 4 weeks for the uniforms.
Oh, no, Greg. You haven't added uniforms.
Uniforms and instruction books.
Instruction books? But you can't pass yourself off for any music professor. I mean, not for any 4 weeks.
Mars.
But you don't know one note from another.
But I have a revolutionary new method called the Think System, where you don't even bother with the notes.
But in 4 weeks, they're going to actually want to hear a band. You'll have to lead the band.
Yes, but in 4 weeks, the uniforms arrive, and they forget everything else. At least long enough for me to collect and leave. Oh, this is a refined operation, friend, and I've got it timed right down to the last wave of the brakeman's hand on the last train out of town. And now, Mr. Washburn, if you'll excuse me.
Gonna line yourself up a little canoodling, huh?
Well.
Say, I could fix you up with Ethel's sister. Oh, lovely girl. Teaches Sunday school.
Ooh. No wide-eyed, wholesome, eager Sunday school teacher for me. That kind of gal spins webs no spider ever. Now listen, friend. A girl who trades on all that purity merely wants to trade my independence for her security. The only affirmative she will file refers to marching down the aisle. No golden, glorious, gleaming, pristine goddess. No, sir. For no Diana do I play fawn. I can tell you that right now. I snarl, I hiss. How can ignorance be compared to bliss? I spark, I fizz. For the lady who knows what time it is, I cheer and I rave. For the virtue I'm too late to save. The sadder but wiser girl for me.
No bright-eyed, blushing, breathless baby doll baby. No, sir, that kind of child ties knots. No sailor ever knew. You prefer to take a chance on a more adult romance. No, do young miss who keeps resisting. All the time she keeps insisting.
No wide-eyed, wholesome, innocent female. No, sir, for she's the fisherman, I'm the fish you see. Plop! I flinch.
You shy.
When the lass with the delicate air walks by.
You smile.
I grin.
When the gal with a touch of sin walks in.
I hope and I pray
for Hester to win just one more A. The sadder but wiser girl's a girl for me. The sadder but wiser girl for me.
Professor, we're all agog, simply agog.
On the QV.
Everyone is so excited about the band.
And I'm Ethel Toffelmeyer, the pianola girl.
And this is Mrs. Squires and Mrs. Hicks. And you've already met Eulalie McKechnie-Shin, our mayor's wife. Oh, isn't it exciting, Eulalie?
Oh, I couldn't say. I could not say. Oh, no, I could not say at this time. My husband will wish to investigate, I'm sure. And naturally, I'm reticent. Oh, yes, I'm reticent.
Of course, Mrs. Shin, I understand. But you see, part of my musical plans include a committee on the dance and... Oh, wait. Oh, do that again, Mrs. Shin. Your foot, the way you raised it, just now.
Well, I do have a bunion there that bothers me.
Oh, what grace. What natural flow of rhythm. What expression of line and movement. Oh, you must accept the chairmanship of the Ladies' Auxiliary for the Classic Dance, mustn't she, lady?
Oh, yes, Eulalie. Oh, Eulalie.
Every move you make, Mrs. Shin, bespeaks those sight.
Oh.
Will you say yes, Mrs. Shin?
Eulalie McKechnie-Shin. Dancing.
Then you
Well,
accept.
Yes, indeed. And I would just like to say that...
Thank you. Now, but the young lady who gives the piano, Marion Peru? Well, after all, she is the librarian.
Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 cheep.
Professor, her kind of woman doesn't belong on any committee. I shouldn't tell you this, of course, but she advocates dirty books.
Dirty books?
Chaucer,
Rabelais, Balzac.
And the worst thing, of course, I shouldn't tell you this, but
The man lived on my street, let me tell. Stop! I'll tell. That woman made brazen overtures to a man who never had a friend in this town till she came here. Old Miser Madison.
Miser Madison. Madison Gymnasium? Madison Picnic Park? Madison Hospital? That Miser Madison?
exactly. Who do you think he was anyway?
Well, I should say, show off.
That's right.
Gave the town the library too, didn't he?
Well, that's just it. When he died, he left the city the library.
But he left all the books to her.
Mm-hmm. She was seen going and coming from his place.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And that woman made brazen overtures with a guilty edge guarantee. Should a golden glitch rod, a silver voice, and a counterfeit ring. Just melt it down and you'll reveal a lump of lead as cold as steel here, where a woman's heart should be. He left River City, the library building, but he left all the books to her. Chaucer,
Rabelais, Balzac.
We need your credentials.
Why, of course. I have just what you need over at my hotel. Follow me. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. We're going to leave you now. Farewell, ladies. Farewell, ladies. Farewell, ladies. We're going to leave you now. Oh, it's all right. I know everything and it doesn't make any difference.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You were probably very young. Anyone can make a mistake.
What?
No apologies, no explanations, please. I'll only be in town a short while, and the sadder but wiser girl for me.
Will you please make your selection and leave?
Oh, I have.
Well, what do you want to take out?
The librarian.
Quiet, please.
The librarian. You're not listening, Marion. Look. Marion. Marbles. 6 Steelies, 8 Aggies, a dozen Pee-wees, and 1 big glassy with a little American flag in the middle. I think I'll drop them.
No!
Shh! Madam Librarian. What can I do, my dear, to catch your ear? I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marion, heaven help us if the library caught on fire and the volunteer hose brigade men had to whisper the news to Marion. Madam Librarian. What can I say, my dear, to make it clear? I need you badly, badly, Madam Librarian. Marion, if I stumbled and I busted my whatchamacallit, I could lie on your floor unnoticed till my body had turned to Marion. Madam Librarian. Now in the moonlight, a man could sing it. In the moonlight, and a fellow would know that his darling had heard every word of his song with the moonlight helping along. But when I try in here to tell you, dear, I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marion, it's a long lost cause I can never win for the civilized world accepts as unforgivable sin any talking out loud with any librarian such as me. Madam Librarian. when I try in here to tell you, dear, I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, it's a long lost cause I can never win, for the civilized world accepts as unforgivable sin any talking out loud with any librarian, such as me. Ladies' Dance Committee meets Tuesday nights. Rian, marshmallow. Rian. Well, Tommy, that's been a pretty good morning. 11 sales out of 12 tries. Let's see now. Well, it's getting pretty close to noon. You better get home and have some dinner. I'll try a few by myself.
All right, Professor. Goodbye.
Thanks, Tommy.
Just a minute here. Are you soliciting? You haven't got a license.
Why, no, Mr. Mayor. I collect doorbells, actually. You see, that one...
Flattery will not avail you. Soliciting is statutory in this county. Malfeasance without a permit. Why haven't you been down to City Hall with your references?
I just missed you. Mr. Mayor, your hand. Oh, no.
What? What?
Why, that spread of your little finger. It's hereditary.
Oh, it is? What does that mean?
It means that your son's little finger is perfectly situated to operate the spit valve on a B-flat flugelhorn.
Is that good?
Good? Why, it means that America has at last produced an artist who can flugel the minute waltz in 50 seconds.
Where can I get one of those horns?
Sign right here, Mr. Mayor. That'll be $17 import fee.
Oh, yes, sir. Just think, I could have missed this whole... I don't have any son! Why, you unscrupulous, flew-by-night, you unflipulous... You be down to City Hall with your by-God papers at 3 o'clock.
You mean this afternoon?
I couldn't make myself any plainer if I was a Quaker on his day off.
Mrs. Peru, do you realize that you have the facial characteristics of a cornet virtuoso?
I don't think I understand you entirely, Professor.
Why, if your boy has that same firm chin and those splendid cheek muscles, by George. Not that he could ever really be great, you understand, but...
Oh, is that so? And then the name St. Bridget, why not?
Oh, well, you see, all the really great cornet players were Irish. O'Clark, O'Mendez, O'Klein.
But, Professor, we are Irish.
No, really? Mm-hmm. Why, that clinches it. Sign here, madam. Your boy was born to play the cornet. And that'll be $7 earnest money, not a penny more due until delivery. And also, I'll need his measurements for his uniform.
His uniform?
Oh. Why, hello there, son. Why, certainly his uniform. And nothing more due till delivery, which gives him 4 weeks to enjoy, to anticipate, to imagine, at no cost whatsoever. Never allow the demands of tomorrow to interfere with the pleasures and excitement of today.
Would it have a...
A stripe? Why, yes, boy, a wide blue stripe. What do you think of that?
You'll have to excuse Winthrop, Professor. We can't get him to say 3 words a day even to us. And if you can get him to play in a band, you'll have St. Michael's own way with you. But if anyone can do it, I bet you can.
Well, thank you.
Out of a crowd, I'd pick you for a hod-carrying, clay-pipe smoking, shamrock-wearing, harp-playing, mavernine pinching, terrace hall minstrel singing, Irishman. Be gobbing, be jabbers. Where are you from, me boy?
Gary, Indiana.
I knew it. Where did you say?
Gary, Indiana. In fact, Garrity Conservatory was my alma mater.
Was she now?
Oh, yes, indeed. Gold medal class of Odd 5, actually. Oh, how to do, Miss Peru?
How to do, Mr. Hill?
Why, of course, Peru. I thought the name sounded familiar. I've tried to see you since the other night, but,
He wants to have Winthrop play in the band.
We're not interested, Mama.
But Marion, he may have his father's musical gift. He does have my jaw, you know.
Your husband? Musical? Well, I'd like to have
Do
a
you
talk
burst
with
in
him.
on everyone's home like this, prying into personal affairs? We're not interested.
Marion!
Why, that's 1 for and 1 against. Why not let the boy's father decide?
The boy's father is dead. Anything else?
Oh, I am sorry. But that's all the more reason why your brother should have something like
My
this.
brother is a 10-year-old problem child who can't seem to understand why his father was taken away. Would you like to explain it to him? He's been brooding about it for 2 years now. As to your musical tricks, why don't you go into business with some nice carnival man who sells gold-painted watches and glass diamond rings?
Musical tricks? Why, Miss Peru, I hardly in all my years... You know, I get the feeling she likes the idea. Oh, a little cautious perhaps, but I admire that in a woman. Just keep me alive and I'll be back later this week.
Oh, Professor, about the boy's measurements. I make all his clothes. Sleeve 21, waist 18, and crotch is 16.
Fine, fine, that's all I need. Now I must get back to the hotel.
Professor, I do hope you'll excuse Marion. She's really not
Please.
all that bad.
I'm sure that at heart, she's as lovely as yourself. Good day to you, Widow Peru.
Has he gone?
He has, and I hope not forever. Marion, don't you ever think of your future? Gary, Indiana, conservation of Art 5.
Now, Mama, surely a girl's future doesn't depend on encouraging every fast-talking, self-centered, women-chasing, traveling man that comes to town. And the fact that he claims his commodity is music does not, in this particular case, impress me.
All right, darling, all right. Only it's a well-known principle. If you keep the flint in one drawer and the steel in another, you'll never strike much of a fire.
Mama! Winthrop, come here, please. Please go to the library and ask Miss Grubb to give you the book I set aside. It's the Indiana State Educational Journal, 1890 to 1910. It's a large brown volume with black corners.
Do I have to?
You don't have to say anything to anyone. I've written it all down for you. Thank you, dear.
Now, what are you up to? Why do you need books at this hour of the night?
I have a feeling the Indiana Journal will help me poke some rather large holes in the professor's claims.
Well, I give up. At your age, if you don't mind me asking, what kind of white knight do you expect to come riding along?
Well, I'm not waiting for Luther Granier, who backs me into the ancient history shelf every time he comes into the library.
He does?
Or Ed Gamage in that buggy of his with the removable back seats. But I'm not waiting for a man with shining white armor either. All I want is a plain man. All I want is an honest man, a quiet man, a gentleman, a straightforward and honest man who'll sit with me in a cottage somewhere in the state of Iowa, and I would like him to be more interested in me than he is in himself, and more interested in us than in me. And if occasionally he'd ponder what makes Shakespeare could love till I die. Him I could love till I die.